Gayton McKenzie has to be obsessed with illegal foreigners in South Africa, and he has a grave message to the DA as regards this building collapse that actually recently occurred in the city of George, right, where the DA party, I think, governs. Okay, let's listen to what he has to say about the building collapse, the victims of the collapse, and his message to the DA party, and I'll be back for some analysis.
There's a big cover-up happening in George. I'm going to give you the facts. I want them to take me to court because the facts are the facts. If you say I'm lying, take me to court, I will give the court my evidence because we've got all the documents now. Number one, I want the South African public to know you are being lied to what's happened in George. And please bear with us because I need to explain every lie that they have been busy with. Firstly, the DA, for very good reason, are saying that, no, Anton, you must go speak to the people, you must be in charge. What experience does he have to manage a disaster site? What experience? He's now the spokesperson. So number one, the guys from the municipality told us the truth. They say they're not going to jail for the DA. What the DA has done now, the DA now brought Bredel to be the spokesperson, to be the head of police, to say, and to be the head of apartheid, to say people can't go there. If you have nothing to hide, why do you want to? Why you want to kick people out? So here is the facts. Number one, 40 people I think has lost their lives, which is regrettable. But I want to say to you, there's other 40 people that's unaccounted for. What has happened with the Patriotic Alliance here? They're lying. They don't know how many people, that's the first lie. They don't know how many people are there. That's the first lie I want the public to know. They have no idea. That's why they moved. They said there's 70 people. Then the journalist of the Daily Maverick asked them. And they said, no, that's 70 people. 71 or something. 75. It has now moved up to 81. After the journalist asked them, how many people? It's now 81. It's a simple exercise to know how many people were in that building. Because all you need to do is to take the register of the workers. But let me tell you why there's no register of the workers. I want to explain to you. We might have 100 people underground there. We might have 200 people. You never know. But they are lying. Instead of coming out and say to the public, we don't know how many people there are. You know why? Because they've taken roadside people. They've taken people from the road. They've taken Malawians on the road to work there. Every day they pick them up. They've taken Zimbabweans. And they've taken Mozambicans. On the road. They took them on the road. Come work here. The people of George. That stands there. That's the most heartbreaking thing. The local people have been standing by the fence, asking for work, and they said to him, "There's no work." The locals, we met with the locals. They told our councillor, "Every day we come in here, we look for work." They have taken, and it's getting worse. You'll hear now. They don't know how many people there are because they've taken people by the roadside. They can't give us a list of names because they don't have the names. They lie. The DA is lying. They don't have the names because when you take people from the roadside to work, you don't ask him his name. You can't ask him his ID. Of the 80 people that's there, only 3 are local people from the area that we know of. They now go to the contractors and say, how many people did you pick up? Then the guy says 7. Then he comes back, he's like, no, I think I went for a second time. It's a lie. They don't know how many people are there. The DA is lying to you. That's why they moved from 70 to 80, because somebody now remembered he had another load that he went to go pick up. That's lie number one. They don't know, because if a mine, because I'm in mining, we've had people dying in the mines. So when somebody dies, the DMR, the mining, the minerals, the regulator, will say, how many people are underground? Give us the list. It's a simple thing. Then I open my computer. When we ask them, where's the list of the people? Guys, you're going to think I'm lying to you. Our lawyers, this is number 3. I'll now show you number 2. They say the documents is under the rubble. Number 3. We were working from the website. We were looking at the website of the company that was appointed. That company now has shut down the website. The company was appointed has shut down the website. The papers are underground. Website is shut down. They don't know how many people there are. These are not South Africans, except for the 3 people. These are illegal foreigners that they got on the roadside. But nobody investigates that. I'm telling you as a fact, they are illegal foreigners. And I'm telling you now, one of the workers are speaking to the PA, because he's a PA. Say, press die manners op antidepressant. He says, I just want to tell the truth. We got the people on the roadside. They lie. Under that building, there can be 150 people. You know how you should know? Today, 2 o'clock, they're going to take a decision to stop looking for people that's still alive. But they are covering, today, 2 o'clock, they're taking that decision. Because the sooner they want to take the attention away from the community. I'm calling on the embassies of Malawi, the embassies of Zimbabwe, the embassy of Mozambique. Your people are going to be buried alive. Take your people, take the ones there, and also take the ones that's not in that building that is bothering us here for jobs. Take them worse. Now is a good time to take your people. They are trying to cover up. I'm telling the embassies, you never thought I will help you because you call me xenophobic. No, I'm just for South Africans first.
Yeah, really interesting. So what do you guys think? From my little research, I've discovered that, this city of George was established in 1811. The city was named after the King George III of England, and it originally served as a strategic outpost for the British Empire. And that over the years, it has evolved, it has evolved in farming, in agriculture, in trade, and in tourism. And prior to the European settlement in the late 1700s, the area was inhabited by the Quen tribe, right? So the Quen tribe were actually predominantly in that region where the city of George is actually domiciled today. And that, these tribes included the Goriquas, the Atiquas, and the Uteniquas. So many of the places in this region, such as the surrounding Uteniqua mountain, comes from the Quen names for these locations, okay? And that the DA party has actually been in the governing body, in governance, of this southern city of George, beginning from the early 2000s, marking a significant shift in local politics. As the largest opposition party in South Africa, the DA emphasized principles of good governance, transparency, and service delivery. And under the DA's leadership, George experienced notable progress and development across various sectors, including infrastructure, expansion of basic amenities, and fostering economic growth in the region. So one of the key priorities of the DA party in this region of George was to enhance service delivery to residents. And so this included initiatives to improve the roads, to upgrade public transportation systems, and also power to reliable access, to provide reliable access to water and electricity. right? And one of the goals of the DA party in the city of George has been to promote tourism. So George, in a way, has become this, beacon of tourism in South Africa. But here we see Gayton McKenzie, blaming the DA for hiring illegal foreigners, who have built this edifice in the city of George, or, according to him anyway, that has become this beacon of tourism and tourist attraction. It has been built on the backs of illegal foreigners, while local South Africans have been unable to get jobs, you see. And so, according to him, like we listened to this in this video, the DA goes around picking illegal foreigners from the streets and giving them jobs, while most of the locals in South Africa have no job. In the city of George, in this regard, have no jobs. And many times I've really wondered about this whole issue of jobs and illegal or foreigners generally. Even though, according to the Patriotic Alliance, the problem of the Patriotic Alliance lies in the problem of the PA is illegal foreigners. But the notion of foreigners coming into a country with more hunger and more fire, and as a result of that fire, what they need, their pursuit of a better life, for example, drives employers to seek opportunity to lower costs of production in producing what might be termed capital, so to speak, is really something that is, I've heard all over, even in the Nordic states, for example. Many locals think that, foreigners usually come in and take the jobs, and that the locals are unable to find jobs. Although the job rating still says that there are still a lot of jobs that have been, that remain unfilled despite the presence of many foreigners, because they are not necessarily fillable, because the skills required to function in those jobs aren't available in the populace. So many times the blames have been, in a way blatant, because most of the jobs that might need to be filled in South Africa, I don't know the situation, but I know that Musi Maimane speaks about how many South Africans are not just employed, they are not just unemployed, but they are unemployable. In other words, they do not have the skills required by the employers to fill in the spaces that require employment. And so when we calculate the statistics for unemployment in such a region, we might be tempted to, claim that a lot of the locals do not have jobs, while foreigners are taking all the jobs in South Africa. But one thing that is really certain and clear is that probably the locals themselves might have to pursue the required education needed, knowledge needed or required to fill in the jobs required by these employers. And this will take a lot of revamping in the educational system in these nations. In this situation, in this case in South Africa, Musi Maimane speaks about how he wants to introduce an entrepreneurial education, an education that speaks to the missing skills in the society, rather than just an education that just teaches on overall knowledge. And so that might be an excellent approach to really balance this whole narrative of foreigners taking all the jobs in South Africa while the locals have no jobs. But rather, an alternative could be to empower the locals to fill in the requirements of the jobs that are available, that need to be filled by these employers. I know many employers, are not absolved of the fact that they wish to hire cheap labor in order to bump their productivity. I know that for sure. That's something really certain. But this other objective, this other alternative, where South Africans might need to be reskilled, to be able to to fill in the missing jobs that employers in South Africa might need, and probably a way to lower the unemployment stats of South Africa might be another way to go. But I don't know. I'm not certain of the conditions on the ground. But I really hope that you guys can fill me in the comments. So what do you guys think about this allegation or speech by Gayton McKenzie to the DA as regards hiring these victims of this collapsed building, as regards hiring illegal foreigners to work in building these really beautiful, you know, these beautiful escapades of tourism, if as it were, built on the backs of illegal foreigners. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please share and like and subscribe, because that's the way you support Kwazemi as a channel, an Afrocentric channel, where we try to understand deeper issues in African history and hopefully develop a collective intelligence on how we wish to build the Africa we want to see as people of Africa. See you in the next one.